Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25.
Hey. Set. Lady. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Strong left. Watch the pass.
Tannehill. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalized.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down. Richmond.
Here, this is Deontay Foreman. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And he fires one incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey! Green!
Out of the gun, Watson. Hard throw, incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, They'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, it's way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the
My
field
name
goal,
George.
please salvage something out of this
Billy Bob
drive. That was
George.
not fun to watch.
Billy Bob George.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point is always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
4 down.
Set. Ooh, 88.
Going on 3rd down, Tannehill. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's go, hustle,
And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team.
Run.
Height, weight, speed, all of that. But that's what they really said, competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Here we go.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right. 4 down.
Set. 280.
41's the mic. 41's the mic. Check.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
Well, they're hoping to do it consistently here. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
4 down. 4 down. Alert. Here we go. Watch 7.
And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
That's it, baby.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day.
Go.
41 mic.
Tannehill going to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And Forbath will put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they've got to make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on and it's second down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free.
Red, green, the line, green, the line.
Mike's 47.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Wolfe in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Block, block. Run to the hunt.
And off to Booker. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yards.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Here they come.
Done by Justin Reed. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Down. Black 22.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there because when you give him different looks and you give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't think about the same confidence. You're not sure the foundation of the football. And that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Double tight, double tight.
We got three, fellas.
Hey, move 80.
On second down, here's Watson. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Thomas, the intended target. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. The worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Hey.
On second down, here's Tannehill. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Mike.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. Now he'll dump it underneath to his complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, if he gets towards the flat first, sometimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Carlos Watkins in there for the stop.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Ready? Ready, hunt!
Now Tannehill. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play clock.
I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Barry on the punt as he gets this one away. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Tight end right. Tiger. We got 4. Down. Move 80.
Back to the air. Watson on second down. His throw incomplete.
Crash.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returning, it's Benjamin. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Here we go, here we go.
Double tight. Double tight. Hey, we got...
Here's Tannehill. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Blitz.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your teammates in jeopardy?
Back to throw Etling. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Even.
Let's go! Red 38!
Now Etling. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. Past the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability.
There we go.
And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Now for the point after. So that'll back him up 5. Point after try forthcoming. No problem there on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Tannehill on first down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Down. That's Lindsey, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And now out comes Houston. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Ohio! Ohio! Check, 4 down.
And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Man left,
And now he'll tuck it and run. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ohio! Ohio!
Gatling to throw it. Underneath for Miller. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to the runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make sure to miss an open field.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was. I know this, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go!
Here's Hetling to throw. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play running, he hits out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice. Pickup.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
They'll throw it here. Etling. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Ohio!
He'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his legs to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They're going to draw here on 2nd down, and he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Mike 41, Mike 41.
Tannehill on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And now out comes Houston. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Check the backer.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go!
Back to throw now on 1st down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout.
Here we go.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
No.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long.
Heavy. Check 20 seconds.
Come on, let's go! White, 90! White, 90!
Bring it. Motion. Pop.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and now it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
38!
We got 4 down.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Oh, ball. That's our ball.
So a minute 56 to play in this 1st half. Back to Denver right after this.
Single, slot.
Let's go, get set.
You're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Set! Route 20!
85. Come on, baby. Let's get this.
Where you at?
I don't think
They'll run it out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
that's it,
Another
baby.
scouting
That's
report
it.
on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Tight end right. Hey, 4 down.
Set! 28!
55's mine, guys. 55.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down.
Defense, let's go.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the 1st half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
You got 3 down.
A give running left, it's Sanders. Oh, and now he pulls it out. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Double tight. 3 down. Hey, check it.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
They'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Watch 7. Watch 7.
Single.
2nd and 10. Tannehill once more. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
10. Red 20.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement, so now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
Heavy.
Come on, let's go. What?
They'll throw down on the final play. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Sliding out of the pocket. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Big play coming up. It's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. On, we think, to punt, though he faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. Now Benjamin. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, right? And I think we would see on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Double tight. Double tight.
Set. Ready.
Play action, Tannehill. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Tannehill. Get him in. He finds Sanders. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going. And when he does it, it's felt by the rest of the team. And they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
Play action. It's Tannehill. He'll buy some time right. And the catch right side. This is Sanders. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Double tight. 4 down. Alert.
Right there, right there.
They'll try to run with Booker. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Devontae Booker, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
Let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
Boy, 51. Let's go.
Back to throw Etling. And he slings one that's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Double tight. 3 down.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
No, off.
Ohio! Ohio! Hot!
Now Etling. And a hit jarred it loose.
That's it, baby.
It's
That's
incomplete.
It. That's it. Big
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Texans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far.
Ohio!
This is 3rd and 10.
Ohio! Come on, let's go!
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And got his man complete. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Texans. 63 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
4 down.
Ohio! Ohio!
The 1st down carry now for Miller. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a tempo program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
Yeah, nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down.
Flex round! Flex round!
Edling to throw it. Underneath for Miller. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
Flex round! Flex round!
Here's Etling to throw. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
Red 38!
That's the run. They're running it.
shotgun. He'll look to throw. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans broke in the tie. Point after up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
4 down.
Here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Watch 30. Hey,
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. He's going to flip one out. Here goes running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10.
Where you at?
4 down.
10, 30.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Yo, ready?
Eyes up. 1 set.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That's how we do it.
Zach Cunningham in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
Here we go.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
4 down. 4 down.
Hustle, we're walking. We're all walking.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And now out comes Houston. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Out. 3 down.
Let's go. Red 38.
They'll throw it here at length. Buying time to its left. And avoids the contact by sliding. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there,
Ohio!
not there.
Ohio!
After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
Let's go, D.
On first down, he'll drop the throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
We got
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
double tight.
Ohio! Ohio! Here we go! What? 90! What? 90!
Another run with Sanders. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go! Red 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Double tight. Double tight. Hey, guys.
Come on, let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
Check your hot read. Go, Mike 51. Mike 51.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd down
Flex
and 12.
round! Flex round!
Mike 51.
Looking to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
Tight end right.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to
Thirty.
feel there's a sense of urgency going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right. 4 down. 4 down. Alert.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Hey.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley line. And now running right through it. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here. And a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to do with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. On 2nd and 10, Tannehill finds a seam inside the 40. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. As a former DB, you might not like it, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This will be taken in after one. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Play action here on first down. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
3 down.
Now it's Watson, the bootleg. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs.
Single receiver.
Down. Back 22.
Out of the gun, Watson. Thomas has got it, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Good gains there, back-to-back for Houston in the passing game, and another first down. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Watson on first down. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
3 down, 3 down. Hey.
Set. Black 22. Black 22.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
51's the mic.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And he missed it. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
30.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got some space here. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Where you at? Where you at?
Tight ends left. 4 down.
Set. Red 20.
Around they go with a little back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Easy work.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
We got 4.
Set. 28.
On 1st down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Set. Round 80.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know we're doing this game live, but let's step into the film room for just a second, because when they review this play, the negatives are going to be incredible on this one. Rolling out to his right. Yeah, he's right-handed, so that's a natural spot for him. But he throws back across his body back into traffic.
Big no-no.
Oh, that's a monster no-no. The only good thing that happened, it fell incomplete. Very fortunate.
Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And a loose football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? they turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And they'll try the ground game here with a running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Watson now on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hey. We got three. 3 down. Mike's 54.
And they'll go ground game here for the tailback. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on second is Watson. And he rifles one incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the ball each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Throw left side, complete to QT. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, who ready?
Oh, get him.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Hey, who ready?
To throw on second down. Watson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now it's Watson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Todd Davis in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed to clock exactly right.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
Tight ends on the ring angle.
You nailed
Tight ends
every
on the
part of
wrinkle.
what was frustrating.
Waiting!
Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
85. Eyes on 85.
Set! Ready!
Slap.
They'll look to throw. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Possession's ours.
Well, that
Possession's ours.
simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you got that small lead.
Yeah, when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week. Well, they held them to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at them. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now runs. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay that they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down.
Richmond! Tiger! Down! Green!
Now Watson. And he's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Touchdown, baby.
DeAndre Hopkins, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now the extra point. The point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And Denver getting set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Let's go.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Now Tannehill. And Eifert has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. Tannehill now to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. The Broncos in the hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. Now it's Tannehill, rolling to his right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And that will write a finish to this ball game.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Houston, the win won't get them to 500, but they will finish on a high note at 7-9. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.